Day 468 of doing a LeetCode problem. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 2264, largest three same-digit number in string. The difficulty level is easy, but don't worry because you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as well. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. You are given a string num representing a large integer. An integer is good if it meets the following conditions. It is a substring of num with a length of 3. It consists of only one unique digit. Return the maximum good integers as a string or an empty string if no such integer exists. Note, a substring is a contiguous sequence of characters within a string. There may be leading zeros in num or a good integer. All right, y'all, so that sounds simple enough. Let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure that we're doing this problem correctly. Now, the first thing we want to pay attention to is what a substring is. So a substring is a contiguous sequence of characters. That contiguous just means that the characters have to be right next to each other, similar to this. We can't delete some or remove none. All of the characters have to be next to each other like this. We have three sevens in a row. That's contiguous. We have right here, we have three threes in a row. That's contiguous, right? So if we had a seven, say we had a 7 right here and a 7 all the way over here and a third 7 right here, that would not be contiguous because they're not in a row. So now that we understand what that means, let's go ahead and take a look at example 1. So in example 1, we have the input nums equals a string of integers 6, 7, 7, 7, 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 9. The output is 777, a string 777. The explanation says there are two distinct good integers, 777 and 333. 777 is the largest, so we return 777. As it says right here, return the maximum good integer as a string. So since 7 is larger than 3, then we return the 3 sevens instead of the 3 threes. So let's take a look at example 2. Example 2 is a little bit easier because there's only one good integer. So in example 2, we have the input num equals a string of integers 2, 3, 0, 0, 0, 1, 9. The output is 0, 0, 0. Explanation says 0, 0, 0 is the only good integer. So as you can see in this string right here, 0, 0, 0 are the only characters that appear 3 times in a row, right? Or numbers that appear 3 times in a row, which makes it a good number or a good integer, sorry. Boom. So let's take a look at example 3 where they might try to throw a trick our way and there are no good numbers. So in example 3, we have the input num equals a string of integers 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 3, 8. The output is just a blank string. Explanation, no substring of length 3 consists of only one unique digit. Therefore, there are no good integers. All right, y'all. So now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Y'all, solution's not that difficult. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a variable that tracks how many times the current digit repeats consecutively. So we're going to count how many times we see a number, right? So for that, we could just declare a variable. We could call it counter, and we'll set that equal to 0 to start. Boom. Now we need a variable that stores the largest good integer found so far, right? So remember, we have to return the largest, similar to this example where we had two good integers. We had 7s and we had 3s. So we're going to create a variable that stores the largest or tracks the largest good integer. So we'll declare a variable, call it max good integer, and we'll set that equal to 0. Then we need a variable that tracks the digit of the largest good integer found so far. So we're going to declare a variable called max digit, and we're going to set that equal to character, open up the parentheses, we're going to put a string and a slash in the middle. Boom. Then we're going to create another variable that stores the previous digit in the iteration. So we're going to declare a variable, call it last digit, and we're going to set that equal to same thing, a character, open up the parentheses, open up the string, and put a slash in the middle. Boom. Now we need to loop through each character or digit in the string. So for that, we could come right here. We're going to say for digit and num. We're going to open up the brackets. We're going to say if digit exclamation point equals. So if digit does not equal last digit, then we're going to open up the brackets. And if the current digit is different from the previous one, we're going to reset the counter to 1. So we're going to say counter equals 1. Boom. Then we'll come right here on this if and we'll say else if digit is greater than max digit and two and signs, digit equals last digit. We're going to open up the bracket. So if the current digit matches the previous one and is greater than the max digit found so far, we're going to increment the consecutive match counter by saying counter plus equals 1. Boom. Then we're going to come underneath that and we're going to say if counter equals 3. Boom. Because we need the largest 3 same digit numbers. So we're looking for substring of length of num of length with length of 3. Boom. That's why we say if counter equals 3, that means we found 3 consecutive numbers that are the same or digits that are the same. When we find exactly 3 identical consecutive digits, first we're going to store as the new largest good integer. So we're going to say max good integer equals, it's going to be a string, open up the parentheses of repeating colon digit, comma, count colon 3. Boom. So that's going to store as the new largest good integer. Then we need to update the max digit by saying max digit equals digit now. Boom. Then we need, for optimization, we can't get bigger than 999, right? So we're going to say if max digit equals two equal signs, open up the parentheses 9, then all we have to do, we could break. So we're just going to open up the parentheses and we're just going to say break. Boom. I mean, not open up the parentheses, we're going to open up the brackets and we're going to say break. Then we need to update the last digit for the next iteration. So we could come right here and we're going to say last digit equals digit. Boom. Now all we need to do is return the largest good integer found by coming down here and we're going to say return max good integer. Integer. Boom. Just like that. That should be all she wrote, y'all. Let's give it a run. Make sure it runs correctly before we submit it. Okay, we have an error. Sorry, y'all. This should be counter, not count. Let's run it again. Okay, let's see what we have here. Oh, sorry, y'all. This right here, this max good integer should be a string. It shouldn't be 0. Let's run it again. Sorry about that, y'all. Can I find last digit? Should be a T. Now let's try. Hopefully that's it for the typos and it's accepted. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. And look at that, y'all. 0 milliseconds beats 100% of users. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, y'all. So before we leave, make sure you get one more look at the code. This is the top part. This is the rest of it. And yeah, y'all, I hope y'all learned something today. And I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.